Thought I'd show you a little bit about processing the wool or the woofer fur before it goes into the carder. When we get fur, this is Dakota's fur, it gets brushed out and then it gets put into a bag or a pillowcase in this case, and it's all kinds of get felted together. Um, it sits there for a while, but it's also, when they take it off on the brush, it gets compacted and tight together. So it gets in this form right here, like a big lump. Um, Now, the purpose of carding wool is to make all the fibers go in the same direction. That way, when you feed it into the spinning wheel, it comes out nice and straight, and all the fibers are together. Llama furs or the alpaca fur is nice and long. You can see how long these pieces are. They're like 4 to 6 inches each. Okay, they're nice and long here. Whereas the dog fur or wolf fur is short. Okay, I can pull it apart like this. See, um, again, the alpaca fur is nice and long. Makes it very easy to go into the spinning wheel. So we mix a little bit of this with the wool fur so that we get these nice long strands that we can feed into the spinning wheel to make the yarn. But unfortunately, if we card it, which I'll show you what that is later, um, if we just put it in this like big lumps, it's going to come out in big lumps. And what will happen is we're going to end up with little pieces that are like this, that are like compact. So when you make the yarn, you end up with these big lumps of fur in there. And we don't want that. We want everything to be nice and fluffy and separated so that the yarn is even at the end. So when I have nothing to do, I sit here and watch TV and I pick apart the little pieces of fur. So you can see the big difference between this nice fluff that I've already cleaned and picked through and the big clumps that's usually what we get when we first get it. There's also little pieces of dirt in here, so I'm able to pull that out as I do this and make sure. So there's just a lot of little picking like this, looking for dirt, looking for clumps that need to be broken up before I put it into the carder, so it's nice and soft stuff. Some people, they'll spin this, like I said, but it's just really hard because, as you can see, the fibers are really short. Again, the alpacas are really long, so it makes it nice and easy to feed that in there and make yarn. So again, we mix the two. Another reason I do this is because sometimes we get big clumps of guard hairs. These are the things that are going to give you the itchies later when the yarn is there. And so I take out the large clumps of guard hair that I can find. There's always going to be a little bit in there, but like I said, a lot of times you'll get these clumps out of nowhere, so I make sure to remove those. This is very time consuming. It's just one of the steps that we do. So I thought I'd show you guys, what this step looks like. Then we have to wash it, and I'll show you some washing and the carding, and we'll do a little demonstration of the spinning. So that's just part one.